Today for Text Talk, we will read part of Bibbidi Bop Barbershop again. Then you'll have a chance to tell me about the story. As we read today, we'll use details from the story to consider these questions. How does the barbershop benefit the community? How does Mr. Seymour help Miles with more than just a haircut? As I start reading, think about the first question. How does the barbershop benefit the community? Bibbidi Bop Barbershop. Inside the shop is crowded. Daddy stops to whisper something to Mr. Seymour. And then we walk to the back of the shop to find a seat. Hey there, Charles. Hey there, little man. What's going on? People call out as we pass. First haircut? One of the men asks me. I nod yes. Nothing to it, he says. Just gotta be brave. All these people are telling me to be brave, but I don't know exactly what that means. What does brave mean, Daddy? I ask. It means that you're not afraid, Daddy says. When we sit down, I practice being brave. How does the barbershop benefit the community? Are you thinking about how everyone gathers together? It's not just a place where they go to get their hair cut, but they go there and they interact with each other. It gives them a sense of community. That's one of the ways that it benefits the community. Let's keep reading. As Daddy and I wait our turn, we watch two men playing checkers. Slap! One of the men slams his checkers on the board. King me, he shouts with his arms raised high. Another group of men is clustered around the television at the back of the shop, watching a baseball game. Come on, man, shoot the ball. What are you waiting for? Pass it, pass it. Foul. That was a foul. The ref must be blind. Whew, that boy can fly. One man cheers when his favorite player finally makes a basket. This shows us even more about how this barbershop benefits the community. It's a place where people gather and share time together and do things that they enjoy, watching sports and playing games. Jazz music, loud voices, and laughter blend with the buzz of clippers and the soft swish swish whisper of scissors skimming loose hair from a freshly cut head. I look at the men in the row of chairs in front of me. I can see their faces in the long mirrors that run along an entire wall of the shop. The man in Mr. Seymour's chair is getting his head shaved. Take it all off, he says. A patch of sunlight gleams right on top of his bald head. What does the barber shop sound like? Is it really quiet? Or is there noise? Is it really loud? Or is the noise kind of soothing? I think it's a little bit of both. There's definitely noise going on, and there's loud voices and laughter. So I'm thinking it probably sounds quite busy. Let's keep reading and think more about how the barbershop benefits the community and how Mr. Seymour helps Maya with more than just a haircut. Another man has long, thick dreadlocks. He's getting a shave with a straight razor. When he leans all the way back in the chair, his locks almost touch the floor. The next man is getting his hair cut low all around. The clippers go back and forth, dipping and gliding across his head, making smooth waves that ripple through his hair. In the last chair, there's a kid, a little older than me, getting his big curly afro trimmed. Just a little off the sides, he says, but none of the styles I see look like me. After a while, Mr. Seymour points towards Daddy and me and calls my name. Me? I look at Daddy and then look at Mr. Seymour and then at Daddy again. You go first, Miles, he says, and pats me on the shoulder. Be brave, little man. I can hear my heartbeat in my ears, and my knees feel wobbly, but I stand up and walk over to the chair. Mr. Seymour helps me up. The chair is so high. Then he drapes a big, wide cape over me to catch the loose hairs. What style would you like for your first haircut, little man? Mr. Seymour asks. I shrug my shoulders. I don't know. Hairstyles. Mr. Seymour shows me a poster hanging on the wall with pictures of all kinds of different styles, but I still don't see any that look like me. I take one more look around the shop, and when I see Daddy, I know right away which style I want. Cut low on top and shave clean all around, just like his. I whisper to Mr. Seymour, and he goes to work. Mr. Seymour takes out his pick. He picks my hair until it's fluffy and stands up high. Then, with his scissors, he begins to cut my hair, just like Mama used to do at home. But when he finishes with the pick and scissors, I hear him turn the clippers on. My heart starts beating fast again. Will the clippers hurt? What if Mr. Seymour accidentally cuts off my ear? The loud buzzing noise is coming closer. Then I feel a tickle creeping up the back of my neck. I get so scared I duck down as low as I can, get in the chair, and throw the cape over my head. I peek out from under the cape when Mr. Seymour turns the clippers off. Daddy is squatting beside me. I tried to be brave, but I didn't know how, I say with tears in my eyes. You know, I was scared when I got my first haircut, Daddy says, and wipes the tears away. You were? I say with my eyes wide open. Daddy nods. But I'll tell you a trick. Pretend that you're a giant so tall your head touches the sky, and the buzzing of the clippers is just the sound of airplanes zooming by. Or maybe you're a superhero saving the earth from a swarm of killer bees. Try it. I promise you won't be frightened anymore. How are Mr. Seymour and Daddy helping Miles with more than just a haircut? That's right. They're helping him to not be scared and to be brave. They're helping him learn what it means to be brave. So I close my eyes and I think about giants and my favorite superhero, but I can't picture any of them getting a haircut. Then I remember watching Daddy get his haircut. The way he sits up tall and closes his eyes halfway, like he doesn't have a care in the world. I think about how brave Daddy is, and I get brave too. When Mr. Seymour turns the clippers back on, I imagine that I have Daddy's long legs and wide shoulders. I sit up straight like Daddy, though I still squeeze the arms of the chairs tightly. When Mr. Seymour is through, there is a brand new me staring back from the mirror. Mr. Seymour rubs a dab of sweet-smelling blue aftershave on my face and the back of my neck. It feels like a cool breeze. Then he dips a brush in powder and gently sweeps it over my head and neck. Daddy takes his seat in Mr. Seymour's chair. And when Mr. Seymour asks him how he wants his hair, Daddy says that he wants a haircut just like mine. Daddy wants to look like me. When Mr. Seymour is finished, Daddy and I smile at each other in the mirror. You're sure we're not twins? Daddy asks, raising one eyebrow. On the way out, some of the other men in the shop hold their hands up to me for high fives. Looking sharp, man, they say. Guess I can't call you little man anymore, Miles. You're one of the big boys now, Mr. Seymour says and shakes my hand. See you next time. I hum a happy, proud song as we leave Mr. Seymour's shop. Bibbidi-bop, bibbidi-bop, bop. Daddy picks up the tune. We walk to the rhyme of our music. Two cool cats, side by side. Mr. Seymour has a service job. We might think that a barber just gives haircut, but Miles got more than a haircut in the story. How was Miles feeling after his experience at the barber shop? That's right, he was feeling proud and happy. And we know that because he was humming a tune and he had a smile on his face. How does Mr. Seymour help Miles with more than just a haircut? Think about that. He helps him to be brave, and he helps him to feel good about his haircut. What I want you to do now is I want you to listen as I read this part of the story to you again. Guess I can't call you little man anymore, Miles. You're one of the big boys now, Mr. Seymour says and shakes my hand. See you next time. I hum a happy, proud song as we leave Mr. Seymour's shop. Bibbidi-bop, bibbidi-bee-bop, bop. Daddy picks up the tune. We walk to the rhyme of our music. Two cool cats, side by side. In what ways was the experience of getting a haircut important to Miles? I want you to think about that and use details from the story to support your idea. Miles got his haircut, but he also learned how to be brave and have confidence in himself. How do we know that he was brave and confident? What kinds of things happened in the story? You're going to share this answer with me on a new form. It's called Flipgrid. You're going to click on the link for Flipgrid and record your answer. The great thing about Flipgrid is you get to listen to the responses of your friends and give them feedback. Make sure that when we listen and we give feedback, we are positive to our friends and encouraging. We all need that right now. So go ahead, click on the link to see how to use Flipgrid, and then go ahead and try to do it on your own. Remember, if you need any help at all, just reach out. I can't wait to hear what you think about in what way was the experience of getting a haircut important to Miles.